What's really good, my people? Welcome in to No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. We're locked in. What we
Yo.
like from the Super Bowl, it's the recap. We're going to talk about Super Bowl 56, man. Matt Stafford's making a lot of noise with the
Talking
Hall
about
of
the Stafford Bowl. Get him his yellow jacket and his ring in the same day.
Yeah, we're going to
Allegedly.
talk about the Stafford Hall of Fame talk. We're going to talk about the game overall. We're going to talk Cooper Kupp. We're going to talk Burrow. We're going to talk the whole thing, man. We got a lot to talk about. It was a good game. You know, we cleared some units finally. We had a good weekend with UFC and the Super Bowl. So we'll talk that. Then we're going to get into the NBA. Oh, well, before we get into the NBA, we're going to talk Kyler Murray because him and the Cardinals seem to be having issues, and that usually doesn't work out for the team that is having the issue with their star quarterback. So we'll talk about that.
Usually not.
Yeah. And then we'll go to the NBA. This is the post-trade deadline NBA now. We saw Ben Simmons last night in Brooklyn. He didn't play, but he was warming up. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the lay of the land, the second half coming up here. That should be a lot of fun. Then we're going to go into Hooper or ball player. Something a little fun, man. You know, the rules on that. I'm going to tell you the rules now. They cannot be a perennial all-star. Those guys don't count. So this is your middle-of-the-road grinder type dudes. Hooper or ball player. But, man, we'll get into it. Stay locked. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We here.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick. What's goody?
What's the business?
What's the word?
Man, fresh off a big weekend, man. Just chilling. How about you?
Man, dog.
You've been all around the globe,
bro. I'd never been happy to be home and sleep in my own bed and like that in a minute, bro. I was in New York for like 12 days. I just got back Sunday, like before the game, so I just ordered some pizza and posted up. Alyssa made some dip, which was really good, and that was it, bro. I was kicking it.
No, yeah. I FaceTime you during the game, man. And my man's looked very tired. I was like, you be around people and stuff. He's on the couch, just like I'm like, man, yeah, but he's definitely tired. So
dog,
yeah.
I was fucking beat, bro. Was
it nice? So was it nice to watch it in like a complete, like just watch it like a regular game? I can't tell you the last time I watched a Super Bowl with like just like I would a regular Sunday afternoon.
Legit, like it was cool. It was me and Alyssa just posted up and we were talking about the commercials and fucking around. And she actually watched most of it. She had OBJ anytime touchdown.
Yo, you want to know so she cashed out early.
Bro, you want to know what's hilarious? She goes, I want to bet $10. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it. She's like, she's like, because she loves OBJ. So I'm like, all right, well, like, let's get you an OBJ play. And she's like, anytime TD. Or I'm like, well, we could do it anytime TD. Like, that means he just has to score in the game. And she's like, okay, how much does that win me? I'm like, if you bet 10, it'll win you 12. It'll pay 22. Nice. She's like, that's it. And I'm like, damn. Like, all right. I'm like, damn. Like, all right, fine. Like, so I'm looking at other OBJ plays, bro. And I'm like showing her the different things. And I'm like, well, you can bet first touchdown and it'll pay $80.
Yeah. What?
And she's like, yeah, let's do that. And I talked her off of it and made her take the anytime, G. I'm like, look, you don't want to, I'm like, because my whole thing was like, if you take the first touchdown and someone else scores, then you're kind of the rest of the game.
For 4 quarters.
No, but the rest of the game, you don't got no action. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you should take anytime TD because it can happen at any point, and then you'll get to like, it'll be like a longer bet. And she's like, all right, fine. Like, I'll take that. And I smoked her crazy. OBJ. She did go crazy when he scored, though. So that was fun. She had a good time with that. But, yeah, I was really just chilling, man.
That's funny.
What'd you do?
So Eli and Jamie came through, brought the youngins. We just watched the game at the crib, man. Nothing too crazy, man. It was a good time, though. Definitely just chilled. Had a couple drinks, had some food, nice little spread.
Yeah, what'd you guys eat? I didn't have shit at the. I had a little pizza and a little.
Dog, we had so much food. I made some wings, some hot wings, and I got the Parmesan garlic from Buffalo Wild Wings. Had to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mixed my wings in that sauce because that sauce is fire.
You was on the Traeger?
Yeah. We had a tenderloin. We had some mac and cheese, some brownies, some dips. I
was locked in.
Yeah, locked in, big time. Had the scotch on deck.
And then we got a high school halftime show, which was fun.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Took us straight back to the early twos.
Yo, halftime show was crazy.
Yeah, the set was my favorite part.
Set was incredible.
The set was
incredible. The map of LA and then the row house or whatever it was. It's in there that they were rapping on 50 coming down upside down.
Yeah. I was shocked at how many people didn't get that reference.
Yeah,
they're like, why is he upside down? I saw that on
Twitter. Yeah, where people had to explain it. It's like, have you never seen the video? Where you been?
Yeah, what? Yeah, you not a 50 fan? My favorite thing about that was him coming upside down and then him rocking the G Unit.
Oh, the G Unit, the G Unit, the tank top. That's the first thing I said. I go, yo, 50 got the G Unit tank top on. 50 got the G Unit tank on. Someone's got to bring that back. Yeah, shout out to him. Yo, shout out to Mary J at 51. Still the queen out here doing her thing.
Incredible.
Looked incredible at 51. Boots were crazy. Fit was crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out M.
Yeah, man. Shout out Jay Holloway, man. What's up, Jay?
Oh, Jay Holloway. Shout out Jay.
It was good.
Shit was dope though, man. Shit was crazy. Yeah, shout out Snoop. Snoop hitting and whoever filmed Snoop smoking before going on and then like circulate that shit is lame as fuck. We talk about this all the time. Yeah, put your cameras away. Let people live. It's lame. Very, very, very weak. Very lame. It's just weak.
And but who gives a fuck?
Who cares? He's a grown ass man. He's 50 years old. Yeah, like we didn't know that Snoop smoked before the performance. Show us nothing new.
Yeah. It's not. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and also, hey, big shout out our guy. Hey, our boys come a long way, man. From being the 30th pick in the NBA draft to starring in Super Bowl commercials with Peyton Manning. Shout out Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, man.
Big spot for Jimmy Butler in the Michelob. Featured prominently in the Michelob Ultra commercial with Koepka, Morgan,
that is actually
Serena, and Peyton Manning, and then all of a sudden, and Buscemi.
Yeah, that's actually a good call because he really wasn't shit when he came in the league. He was like a dude that easily could have fizzled and been in the league like 3 or 4 years. He couldn't play any O. He was like an okay defender.
Yeah.
And he's literally turned himself into a legit perennial all-star problem, all that.
And a super marketable dude. Apparently too, right? Like in commercials and shit, made a bunch of bread. I think
Jimmy
signed
B,
like
man.
200 with the Heat. Like, shout out Jimmy Butler. Hey, hard work pays off, like 100%.
Yeah, that's it, man.
We saw Jimmy grind, so got out the mud. Shout out Jimmy Butler, man. I hope he got that Michelob check was looking decent. Shout out Serena too. Always.
Yeah, What was their message there that like she's the best athlete of all time? That's why she's
I think it's like among all these people, it's like they're all playing all bowling, it's all cool, but then like Serena walks in and it's like it's game time now. Like no more. Even like Peyton Manning's like shit, you know what I mean? So
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, give her her props.
Yeah. Oh no.
Hey, wait. So wait. Real quick before we get into this, man. I know you didn't want me to put you on the spot, but I got to.
Okay.
So my girl's aunt gave me the Chicago trivia game for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through some of these questions, and some of this shit is hard as hell. So I want to put you on the spot with these 4 questions from this one card.
Okay.
This is all bullshit. All right, first question.
Yeah.
What member of the 73-74 Bulls would later serve as he said 73 and he was done.
This motherfucker says 73, 74 Bulls.
The only reason I got it is the second part of the question.
All right, go ahead.
I would have never known he played for the Bulls. What member of the 73-74 Bulls would later serve as head coach of the Blazers, Warriors, Kings, Rockets, and Timberwolves? You know him.
I
think Blazers for sure.
Obviously, first thing that jumped in my head was Sloan when you said Utah, but that's not it. So
think Blazers, Warriors, Kings for sure. Big time in the Kings. When the Kings were really good.
Then he went to the Timberwolves for a minute and he kept getting a job, but they never won.
Kept getting a job.
What is his name?
Houston. Remember he was on Houston for a minute?
Yeah.
He coached T-Mac and Yao.
I know exactly. He short, comb over brown hair. Shorter guy. I can't remember his name.
Rick Adelman.
Rick Adelman. Yeah, that's him. Rick Adelman. Rick Adelman was and without naming no names, I have like a little inside info on Rick. He was like a super tough dude in the locker room. Like a lot of people
didn't fuck around.
A lot of players didn't really rock with Rick Adelman. But that's Rick.
Like a hard ass type coach type, one of those old school type dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right. This one you should get easy. In 2005, what rookie guard out of Duke set the Bulls single game record by hitting 8 3-point shots in a win over the Hawks?
It's got to be Jay Williams.
No, 2005.
2000
rookie out of Duke was known for getting it in out nightly.
Point guard. Right. Known for getting it in. Point guard.
Yeah, was out. Oh my God. Yeah,
2005. Duhan.
Chris Duhan.
Yeah, Duhan. My fault.
Legend in these streets.
Duhan. Yo, I was.
Duhan was out in the field.
Yo, shout out Duhan. I saw Duhan one time on Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when motherfuckers was rocking the Big Body 7 Series BMW?
Yes. Yeah.
He had this like blacked out 7 Series, and I was next to him, and he had his window down. I was like, "Yo, Duhan." He was like. He gave me the
Chris Duhan was nice for a little bit. He was nice backup point guard.
Duhan was a good player, man.
Yeah, went out to New York. I think it was over with the life. I think the life swallowed him.
Shout out Duhan.
All right, you might get this one. What 6'8" forward out of Iowa State did the Bulls select with the 4th overall pick in the 2000 draft? Your boy,
Marcus Fizer.
Trash.
Man, he was bad.
He was so cold in college.
Marcus Fizer, and Tyrus Thomas are easily the worst draft picks we've ever come across.
Tyrus Thomas was terrible.
Tyrus Thomas was so bad.
Stole money, and he got a deal in Charlotte. I think Charlotte gave him like $40 million. He stole more money. Yeah, I can't believe it. All right, last. What Chicago native and Fighting Illini star played in 966 NBA games, including 56 for the Bulls in 03-04? I'll give you a hint. Still involved in the Bulls.
Still involved in the Bulls.
Yeah.
Repeat the question. Illini.
What Chicago native and Fighting Illini star played in 966 NBA games, including 56 for the Bulls in 03-04?
It's not D Brown?
No.
No, it's not Luther.
Shout out Luther Head.
Yeah, shout out Luther Head.
Still involved in the Bulls. Fighting Illini, Illinois guy. Big time Illinois player. Huge. Big dude. Large pants nowadays.
From 05?
We see it. You see him 3 or 4 times a night or a week. You see him all the time.
Who is it? I don't even know who you're talking about.
Kendall Gill.
Oh, damn. Well, I think
he's from the suburbs, I think. But
you know what it was? I crossed up that the person was playing ball for the Illini in 05. So Kendall Gill. I just wiped out. Yeah.
Shout out Kendall Gill.
That's what's up. We'll definitely do some.
Yeah, I'm gonna spring these up on you every once in a while.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's talk Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
Let me write down the minute mark. What'd you think of the game, bro?
What
bets did you have? What ticket? You had a bunch of.
Yeah, I had some props. I think I had. Man, let me go back through them. It was.
No, forget that.
I know I was on that Burrow over 11.5.
Yeah,
was the easiest money. The easiest money was, will anybody attempt a 2-point conversion at -105? I can't tell you the last football game I've watched where a team hasn't attempted a 2-point conversion. So I had that. I think I had Cooper Kupp. I want to say I had Cooper Kupp first touchdown. So I had some good ones, but then I lost on this Burrow 11.5. I had the Bengals money line, so I lost on that. So I broke even for the night.
You had a shot at the money line, though.
I had a shot at the money line at +175 too, so it was going to look nice.
What did you think of the game, though? Let's talk about the game. Yeah, let's get into it. Going in, obviously, you know the narrative that this front from the Rams was going to be not going to be able to be stopped, and Bengals were going to be getting sacked. Burrow was going to be under tons of pressure.
That's exactly what happened.
And then that's a good chunk of that is what happened, especially later on in the game in the third quarter. Yeah, talk to me about the game.
I was going to say, man, like for me, this is one of those games where like if you're working at ESPN, you're working at NFL Network, and you're chopping the highlights, it's really easy. Like it was a game of plays, right? It was like 10, 15 plays. You show those, you don't have to show the rest of the game.
Yeah, you saw the whole game.
You saw the whole game if you look at the highlight plays, right? It starts with the Bengals going for it on 4th, right? In the beginning of the game, getting stuff, not converting. Burrow throws it short.
Burrow had the flat too.
Which I always hate. I don't understand when you're going for it on fourth with a passing play. Why are you throwing it in front of the first down? Like, it never makes sense to me. Like, you got to get something over the line. So it starts with that. But I got no problem with them going for it. I know people were going against it. It's one of those things where if they convert, you love them. If they don't, they're going to be criticized.
I just think
but
you got to be aggressive. Yeah,
you got to be aggressive, right? But that sets up the Beckham touchdown, right? So obviously they go up. Your boy, who again, can we stop calling this dude a lockdown corner? Because every game that I watch of Jalen Ramsey, he is getting beat by elite receivers, right? Sets it up for Jamar Chase, 50 yards on man coverage, right?
That was a ridiculous catch, though.
It was a ridiculous catch, but he still got beat. And he got beat later in the game, too. He gets beat. The guy gets beat a lot. I'm not going to blame him for the face mask. Obviously, that's not on him, but he gets beat. But that sets that up. Obviously, they go down. He gets that. They don't score on that drive, which is crazy to me. You got to score touchdowns in the red zone, which I think was a big theme in this game for the Bengals. I think they had 2 red zone opportunities that they didn't score on. But overall, man, it was just a game of plays, right? And that sets up for, 2 quarters where nothing really happens. Rams can't move the ball at all. Can't run the ball. Can't run at all. I think they average 2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Bengals run defense looks incredible. The Stafford picks, I know I give him a hard time, but I'm not going to blame him for that. One of them was pretty much a punt pick. The other one was a drop. And then that last drive, man, Cooper Kupp. And close it out with Aaron Donald. That's what it comes down to, right? I mean, Bengals made some plays in between then, but overall, couldn't score when they needed to. Left some in the red zone, but yeah.
Let's go back to Jalen real quick, man. Because
let's talk about him.
Because
name a receiver.
I don't because I'm gonna say because this is how I want to preface it, right?
Because I remember when lockdown corners used to lock down people. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Like, he's not a lockdown corner. Like that Revis Island type, that shit. He gives up way too many chunk plays and does a lot of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And let's say this. I think he's a really good corner.
For sure.
The way people talk about him, they talk about him like he's Deion Sanders, and he's not that.
Not even close. He's not Revis. He's not Sanders.
He's not. He's just not that. All right. Like let's cut that out. He's a big physical dude.
He's a good physical corner that markets himself well, talks a lot of shit, has the attitude, has some good ball skills, makes a lot of plays. Right. Like we'll do some shit. I'm not sitting here telling you he's a bum. He's not the boy out there in Dallas who they think is Deion as well.
Trayvon Diggs,
burns up left and right if he's not making a pick. He's not him, but. Dude, I mean, how many games do we got to go back where we constantly see him giving up big plays? Like, these top flight corners, these lockdown guys don't give up 50-yard plays. Like, if your man has 1 catch, but it's for 50 yards, that's on you. You're not a lockdown corner.
And honestly, you know what I've seen, and you know what I've seen when I went back and looked too. It's like the real primetime guys. Give him a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
like Devontae Adams is eating him up.
Mike Evans bust his ass.
We saw Mike Evans give him like 160, 70 yards in the playoffs the other week.
Yep.
And so he's a good corner. Because it's like I couldn't tell you, and I've even said it, how many times I hear, oh well, Jalen's gonna shadow him, so you could take him out of the game. It's like
that's not true.
I don't know about that, my boy.
Yeah. Like, this is not true. Like, again, that Jamar Chase abused him on Sunday, right? Like, Higgins, again, that was a pass interference, but they made other plays on him, man. He wasn't out there locking folks up left and right, making huge plays, shutting down half the field. Like, it's not Ramsey Island. And again, man, I think he does a great job of marketing himself. He got paid. He got himself out of Jacksonville, ended up in L.A. Like, good for him, but man, he gets a lot of love for being a lockdown dude who just doesn't seem to be
lock down.
Like, I see him get beat a lot. And you know what else? Like, technically, like his technique, he's not like sound technically. You constantly see him on the ground. Like, he falls, he'll fall over, he'll trip over himself. Like, he's not a master.
Just pump the brakes a little bit on Jalen Ramsey. Like, is 1-for-1 for the other team's best receiver, and they're going to have to go elsewhere because that's not necessarily the case.
Right. Yeah.
So
he'll make you pay, but you can get some shit over on him.
Yeah, sure. No doubt about it. So I thought it was a really good game. I really needed the Rams to come back and win, or I would have been down some money. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The Rams money line, or you had them?
I had my biggest bet was Rams money line. I had 2.5 units on Rams money line, and then I had Rams -4, which was dead. Right after that touchdown in the second half, it was dust.
It was done.
Like it had
you already knew how this was gonna go.
Right, yeah. Right after that, especially how they were stopping the run. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I don't know what McVay was doing, but he continued to run. He almost ran the clock out on himself.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do either.
If
it was very clear that you were not going to be able to run the ball at all.
The shit was dead.
Yeah,
and he almost shout out Aaron Donald and the Rams for getting massive stops because they were giving the ball back 3 and out, 5, 6 plays and out. Like a lot of BS run calls, and I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
And I think it was a big thing when Odell went down because he felt like they didn't have any personnel. And then Stafford,
Odell was obviously on his way to a very, very, very big game
for sure
on Sunday. Like they couldn't guard him because they had to pick between him or Kupp. And yeah, they were trying to give the single coverage to Odell, and he was just making them pay for it. He made him pay for it twice before he got hurt with big plays.
Yeah, I had a same game parlay plus 300. I had first half under, game under, and Odell 4+ catches, Joe Burrow touchdown.
What was the over for the game?
48.5. I had it teased up too, so I was locked in.
Oh,
but
solid.
I just needed Odell to pick up 2 more catches.
Yeah,
and I would have been good, but yeah,
sure.
You blow out the ACL,
and that was a no doubter, right? We know that when we see that was.
You know, I tried to say I didn't think I'm usually pretty good at spotting ACLs. I was like, I don't know about that one, but
no, that was.
I slowed it up, and then we saw it later on, and yeah, you saw the. Anytime you see the tibia shift forward, it's ACL. That's all you gotta look for. If you see the tibia shift forward and then come back. ACL snap and then the leg goes back into place.
And you brought up the best point, right? Like, thank God for Aaron Donald in that Rams defensive front, or else Sean McVay would have a lot of explaining to do come Monday morning.
No
right?
question.
Like it really took. And I think right after the game, I was like, oh yeah, Cooper Kupp's the MVP. Like he's the one that was out there making the plays. Going back through the highlights, watching that last quarter again, watching that last drive again, Aaron Donald was 100% the MVP of this football game. It goes to that red zone, the red zone where he sacked Burrow, right? They were at like the 15. I think it was 3rd down. He literally if you watch the play, Aaron Donald ran straight through his man. The guy that was blocking him was just going backwards like this as Donald was just moving him, and he gets in the sack on Burrow. And that was that. Like, that was a scoring opportunity that Aaron Donald single-handedly ended. And with the way the Rams were playing on offense after Beckham got hurt, you needed that. Like, you could not afford for the Bengals to score a touchdown in that spot. I want to say that was in the 3rd down. Third quarter, right? Yeah. You were in a spot where you couldn't afford.
Bunch of massive plays.
Bunch of huge plays in the second half. He was all over the place in the second half. He stopped the Bengals from doing whatever it is they wanted to do. Now, I'll give this. Taylor, I don't know on 3rd and whatever it was why you're giving the ball to Samaje Perine.
3rd and 1.
Yeah, like, dog.
Honestly,
keep the ball in Joe Burrow's hands for something. Either Joe Burrow's throwing it, find a Zoma, find somebody, but don't give the ball to Samaje Perine.
And I would say don't run the ball up the middle.
Up the middle against Aaron Donald. You ran it straight to Aaron Donald.
Go the other way or something. Yeah.
So, I mean, again, you can break this game down to just a few plays if you really want to know what happened. You really want to know why the Rams won and why the Bengals lost, and that's it. Yeah. And a lot of them center around Aaron Donald. A lot of them center around exactly what we thought was going to happen. You cannot ignore your offensive line. You can't say, hey, he got sacked 9 times last week, so he'll be fine this time. This guy was sacked
They almost
40 times in the playoffs.
That's the crazy part.
They almost did pull it off.
They almost pulled it off.
They also almost pulled his fucking knee off too. Like, I'm concerned, and I'm waiting to hear if there's any damage on Burrow, right? Like, he went down like that was a knee injury. I understand he was dancing with Kid Cudi after the game, but you know how that shit is. A couple of days later, you go in and have it looked at, and someone's like, wait, something's not right here. You know what I mean? So they're playing a dangerous game, man. Like, we could talk all we want about how young this team is and how we think that Burrow's going to be back, and they have all these weapons. But if they don't address that offensive line, you are always everybody's always one play away from the end of the year, but you're so much closer than everybody else because of how bad your offensive line is. And it doesn't matter that it's against the Rams. Like, they have the best defensive front in football. It doesn't matter, man. Anybody's going to tee off on you. The Bears were teeing off on you. You can't have him getting sacked 7 times.
Yeah. Bengals have the 3rd most cap space going into the offseason.
Yeah, like 60 million, right?
Yeah, it's like almost $60 million. I think it's like
all
57.
of it up front.
Yeah. And that's what they gotta address.
Overpay, overspend.
Listen,
Burrow on a rookie deal, Chase on a rookie deal, overspend.
But I'm gonna give them some props because what they did worked out. They ended up they drafted Chase, which I thought was dumb because they needed people up front. Yep. But Chase is a massive difference maker, and now you go into the offseason with $60 million. So you go. So now I guess you're not drafting offensive linemen that you don't know anything about or how they're gonna develop in the.
Well, if a good one comes to you, get them. Yeah, but
what I'm saying is like there's still people coming out of college. Chase ended up working out, so now you could go spend money on solidified guys up front.
Yeah, real guys.
Real guys that are solidified up front and ready to go, and then. If they could get that straight, I heard a really interesting thing on Get Up yesterday. Jeff Saturday was like, "This is on Burrow. He needs to let them know I'm not going to stand for this.
For sure.
Like you have to address this, or like I'm not going to be out here. I'm not going to have a Cincinnati Bengals uniform on."
He's already had a knee injury. He almost had another one. Like for sure, if you're Burrow, you're like, "Yeah, fuck this."
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because I never really thought about it like that, and. I'm always for the players, standing up and saying something, but he was like, Peyton Manning would never stand for this. Tom Brady would never stand for this. He basically was like, Burrow needs to go into the front office and be like, yo, this is what you need to spend the money on, or we're going to have a major fucking
issue. Well, that's what Russ did to Seattle last year. Remember, he was like, I need a fucking offensive line. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I need linemen. We need to be able to block. And Brady's a great example. What did we see with Brady in New England? He was never on the ground.
Never.
They prioritized protecting him more than anything. If Brady got sacked on your watch, you were done. And I guarantee,
if I had to guess, Brady this year got sacked 12 times.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like very, very, very small numbers. So I thought that was interesting that he kind of put it on Burrow, but it's very clear what they need to do. And I mean, hey, that's very encouraging if you're a Bengals fan.
You know exactly what you got to do.
You know exactly what you got to do.
What you have to address.
No fucking around. No, none of that. Go pick up a corner as well.
Yeah, get rid of Eli Apple.
Go get us some secondary help.
Get Eli Apple out of town. Hey, because dude talks big shit and he had it coming to him. He's getting fried on Twitter by everybody.
Yep.
Because he was talking big shit. Yeah.
Hey, and however much Hendrickson costs, pay him.
Yeah, pay him.
That dude is a beast.
He's a monster.
So, yeah, man, I'm very excited for Bengals fans. That's awesome. They're going to be good. The AFC is fucking loaded. So that's going to be a fun thing to keep tabs on the rest of the decade. Like, that's how stacked the AFC is. Let's see where Russ Wilson ends up. Let's see where Yo, real quick, did you see so
Brady sacked 22 times last year.
22 times.
Burrow sacked 51, but Brady dropped back the most he's ever has in his career.
Right.
So.
He led the league in
passing. Only 22. Burrow 51 sacks. That's insane. You played quarterback before. 51 sacks. It's 3 sacks a game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And he still gets up and shows them love, but they gotta address that. And I think everybody knows that.
And you do that, the picks come down too. He threw 14 picks. But I mean, if you're facing that kind of pressure, you're just trying to get the ball out.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, bro. So after the game, Drake had an after party, Super Bowl after party.
Drake.
And he brought Future on, and then there's video of Russ Wilson and Sierra leaving. Like as Future's coming on, they're like dipping out the door. Let me ask you this: who you think asked to leave? Did Russ be like, "Yo, let's get out of here," or was Sierra like, "Hey, yo, Russ, like"?
Russ knew Sierra didn't want to be there, so Russ was like, "Come on, baby, let's go."
That's what happened.
she didn't have to say anything. Russ picked up on the vibes, man. Russ was like, "Yeah, let's get out of here."
Yeah,
you don't want to be around Buddy anyway. Look, man, like there's probably so much behind. Future is the pettiest dude on earth, right? So there's so much behind the scenes pettiness. Like Russ doesn't want to deal with that shit. Russ is winning, anyways.
Yeah,
and that's in that equation.
No question.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sure he was like,
"But you think Russ was like, all right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go somewhere else. We can go to 100 other places right now.
Yeah, let's go to another party.
Because don't put it beyond Future to pull some petty shit and say some shit about Russ like in the crowd.
Russ Wilson in the building was good.
I see you there with my old bitch. Like, I wonder if she missed me. You probably got a song queued up for that situation. You know what I mean? Like
Future, shout out my BM in the building. Sierra, what's up, baby?
She's part of my collection.
That's funny, man.
I didn't see that though. That's funny. Yeah. No,
I'll text it to you when we hop off.
Well, apparently you can't play Future in the Seahawks locker room. Russ killed that.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So that's what made me think it was like Russell is like.
How do you feel about Russ killing that in the locker room? Are you okay with it?
Yeah, this is my franchise.
My franchise.
Yeah, so I don't give a fuck what y'all are talking about. Who's gonna tell me that? Who's gonna play that and be like, even Bobby Wagner, cut it out.
Bobby, turn that shit off, bro. You better turn that shit off, Bobby. Turn that shit off. We ain't listening to that.
Yeah.
Dog, that's so do you think that but the crazy shit for me is like, do you think that secretly Sierra bumps March Madness? I just don't know how you can't listen to
bangs and shit.
Yeah, like, you know what? I just gotta hear this one more time. Heard the stuff, bro. Like, Russ comes home and Sierra's just making that shit up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know the hatred level, but when the hatred level is really high for someone, of course not, but still, she might be over it. They got a kid together. They talk from time to time.
Folks is definitely petty.
Yeah, so that's funny, man. Future
what
Hendrix.
What do you say? Tell Steve Harvey come get his daughter back.
He said tell Steve Harvey I don't wanna. Tell Steve Harvey I don't wanna. That's funny.
What's wrong with that dude, man?
Yeah,
man.
All right, let's move over to closing out the Super Bowl. It's a good game. Rams got it done. Shout out OBJ. Shout out Matt Stafford. Oh, we got to talk about this Matt Stafford Hall of Fame talk.
Yeah.
We almost skipped over that. We went to Kyler Murray.
Which is exactly what it should be.
Yeah. But okay, so you tipped your hand. You're on Richard Sherman's side. The bar is becoming way too low.
So there's a few things on this Stafford thing, man. And like I don't care if I sound like I'm hating. It's fine. Go ahead. Take it how you want it. Matt Stafford. Good quarterback, man. I'm very happy that he was able to leave the Detroit franchise. We know perpetual losers, Detroit Lions. They've had multiple players in their prime retire or just not want to be there. We get it. Downtrodden franchise. We play them twice a year. I'm happy that he was able to go to LA, play well, get a Super Bowl ring. He obviously made a huge difference for them. He obviously made the game-winning drive in the last two games for them, right? Made huge plays when I thought that he wouldn't. So I will give him all of his flowers on that. Had a great year. Played a really good game on the Super Bowl and delivered the championship like he was supposed to. What I don't like about the Stafford narrative, it's almost like, and I say, look at the Bengals for this, right? We can't be like, yo, the difference is with the quarterback. It really doesn't matter what else is around there. You get that guy in the building, and all of a sudden you're winning games. A la the Bengals with Joe Burrow, right? He's hurt last year. They're trash. Year before that, they get the number one pick in the draft. They're trash. He comes to town, completely changes the franchise. Yeah. That's what franchise quarterbacks do, right? We all agree with that. But somehow with Stafford, it's Detroit's fault. It's the Lions' fault. It's like he wasn't playing quarterback there for those 14 seasons. It's like he wasn't playing in those games. It's like he didn't do anything to contribute to some of those losses. You and I have watched Matt Stafford twice a year for the past 14 years come and play the Bears. While I've always thought he's good, I had never had the feeling going up against Stafford like I do with Rodgers or any of these other elite guys where it's like, yo, we probably don't stand a chance at all. I always thought that those Detroit Lion games were either we're going to win or it's a toss-up. I'm never going in there like I'm scared of Stafford, right? So this dude has somehow been able to erase 15 years of being an average to good quarterback, right? Make it the team's fault why they didn't win anything. Of course, it wasn't Stafford's fault. He was just held hostage in Detroit, right? It was free Matt Stafford. That's what it was. That's what it became. He was held hostage in Detroit, and once we freed him, he was able to spread his wings. But on the other side, it's like, oh, Joe Burrow comes to town, and when you have a franchise quarterback, that's the impact that they have. They turn around, they make you winners. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth with this. Stafford was a good quarterback, a solid quarterback, really talented quarterback, had big games, had some big seasons, put up some solid numbers, but was never even close to Hall of Fame level. And you even brought up, well, they're throwing Matt Ryan in there. At least Matt Ryan won a fucking MVP. At least we could point to a year where Matt Ryan was arguably the best quarterback in the league, numbers-wise, right? And took his team to the Super Bowl. What happened once they got to the game is a different story, but at least you can hold on to that. You don't have that with Stafford. This is a guy who made one Pro Bowl, has never made an All-Pro, and it's not hard to make the Pro Bowl. I'm sorry, Mitchell Trubisky has Pro Bowl berths. All right, so like you can make the Pro Bowl. Guess what? The teams that are playing the Super Bowl, their quarterbacks don't make the Pro Bowl. So that's 2 spots right there that open up for you to get there, Matt Stafford. You've never won a playoff game. You've never elevated that team that you were at. But again, all of a sudden, it's like you were held hostage, and now you're a Hall of Famer. Now, I'll flip that by saying he's only 34 or 35 years old. He has another 4 or 5 years left out there in L.A. If he puts together another 4 or 5 big years, gets them in the playoffs, doesn't necessarily need to win another Super Bowl, but 4 or 5 big years, I could say, okay, now we have a Hall of Fame resume. But just to say that because this 1 year he took them to the Super Bowl and they won, all of a sudden makes him a Hall of Famer and washes away the other 14 years, a lot of which was mediocre, it just doesn't sit right with me. I've watched Matt Stafford for a long time, and I have never been scared. And I have been scared of many a quarterback.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like if Kirk Cousins were to go somewhere, win a Super Bowl next year. Next year, Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Famer. We're just passing him out.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm with you because I really, really, really didn't want to put Eli in. So like
Eli Manning's the Hall of Famer.
You know where you know where I'm at on the Hall of Fame. Like it's
2-time Super Bowl MVP.
It's he doesn't even have the Super Bowl MVP, Stafford.
Yeah, he doesn't even have that. Eli's made 5 Pro Bowls.
Listen. What I'm saying is that's just to give you a benchmark of where I'm at. I had trouble putting Eli in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying?
Standards are very high. Yeah.
Yes, like this whole Phillip Rivers, no thanks. Great career, dog. Matt Ryan, cool, bro. Good career, dog.
Ryan further than Stafford.
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Fame.
I'm talking about for you to get in without a ring. We're talking Dan Marino, Warren Moon. These are the guys that I'm talking about are Hall of Famers without rings. Like Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers put up a bunch of good games in the regular season. Lost in the playoffs all day long.
All the time. Got whooped by New England for 15 years.
Yeah, no thanks. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing about the Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan and these type of dudes.
And Matt Stafford, 86 and 95 is a starter.
Yeah, cut it out.
Including this year, going 12-5. 86 and 95. So before this year, he was 74 and 90 as a starter. Come on.
And listen, like Detroit had something to do with that, but that's still, it shouldn't be that bad.
16 games under 500 for your career.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer for me because he's had a good career. This is where the issue is. A lot of these guys are going up against numbers from long ago, and they're playing like 6 and 7 more years.
And in a much more pass-happy league.
And a much more, so like they're crushing everybody's numbers. So when you pull the numbers up and then you look like, how could this dude not be a Hall of Famer? He's 5 in passing yards. He's 4th in touchdown. So that's when it starts to get that. And like that, it kind of spooky where it's like, maybe this dude is a Hall of Famer. But yeah, man, I agree with you. My Hall of Fame bar is a lot higher than a lot of other people's.
I was shocked when I heard his name, man. I was, and like the amount of people who I respect who are like no doubters. Stephen A. said he's a Hall of Famer. Orlovsky said he's a Hall of Famer.
Orlovsky doesn't count, bro.
Orlovsky loves him. That's his boy. Yeah, he played with him for years.
That'd be like if you were in the league and you were. I'd be like, yeah, this guy's the best quarterback of all time. Top quarterback of all time. Like,
right, but like I heard Stephen A. saying, it's just like, yo, what are we talking about here? Like Matt Stafford was never a factor in anybody's life until 12 months ago. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Like, if we talk about quarterbacks elevating their franchise, you're not elevating anything at 76 and 90.
And I'm going to say this, man, like it or not, it's very proven that McVay puts together a nice system for guys to succeed. Jared Goff is very, very average. And he was in the Super Bowl. McVay, say what you want about McVay in the Super Bowl, the play calling with the run. That whole system and framework he has out there is the reason that Cooper Kupp had the one of the best wide receiving seasons of all time.
Yes.
There's a reason why Stafford comes over there and all of a sudden looks magical.
Yeah.
There's a reason OBJ gets over there and gets the ball in space. Like McVay has a lot to do with that. So say what you want. I think that works against the Stafford story as well. It's not like he didn't do what like a Burrow type of thing did, where he just like is literally their only player, lifting them to get stuff done with a young coach. So yeah, I agree with you, man. No Hall of Fame for me. So
the Stafford story is told already. He's been telling it to you in the Motor City for the past decade and a half. What more do you need to know? Like, I feel like
really
I don't understand how we flushed it all down. Yeah, good. Good quarterback. Really, I don't even put really in front of it. Good quarterback.
Good quarterback.
He's not really good. He was really good this year. He's not really good. Where are we going with really good on Matt Stafford?
Well, right now, he's really good right now.
He never won the division.
This year. Well, you know who was in the division.
That's fine. He's never won it.
You know who was in the division. The best quarterback I ever seen in my life.
That's why when you even brought up Ryan, I'm like, at least Matt Ryan had fucking won the division a bunch over there. At least he's been to the playoffs a bunch over there. At least he had a year where I was like, wow, Matt Ryan's really good this year. That never happened with Matt.
I mean, I'll tell you this. It's one of those things where, like, if you're gonna put Matt Stafford in, you might have to put. I don't have the numbers lined up, but like, what about like Cam Newton needs to be in the conversation then too?
Yeah, for real. Everybody's a Hall of Fame.
Like,
pass him out.
If he's in the conversation, I think
Jay Cutler threw some touchdowns.
We got to talk.
He won some divisions. He made some Pro Bowls.
Cam got an MVP. Cam got a Super Bowl appearance.
Absolutely.
So what are we doing here? So yeah, it's interesting. All right, we'll leave it there. I think we made it clear on where we're at. All right, let's move over to Kyler Murray real quick, man. You gotta.
Can I ask you real quick on one thing that popped up, and I want to just get your opinion on. We don't have to spend too much time.
Sure.
Apparently, the Colts are planning to move on from Carson Wentz, and are going to either trade or release him before his roster bonus for next year kicks in. Thoughts? I was kind of surprised.
The roster bonus?
15.
Yeah, you got to go.
So you think so they took 1 year, one look, and we're like, that's it, we're good. I thought this was like a long-term thing. He didn't play terrible. He played terrible when it mattered, which is the Carson Wentz story. But overall, his numbers weren't like he wasn't doing some of the shit he was doing in Philly.
Just a $15 million roster bonus is tough to swallow if you don't think he's going to be the guy. So you're probably going to end up.
You're saying just move on.
I mean, listen. This is the thing. If that report's coming out, that means his guy Frank Reich thinks like maybe I can't salvage this and I can't get him back to what it looked like in Philly. So if he feels that way, then I think that's trouble. That's his guy. Like if anybody's going to go to bat for him, it's him.
Good call.
And if that's leaking out of Indy,
I can't do this. Yeah.
I can't do it. Then nobody. And then it's going to be tough for him to get another starting spot. Mm-hmm. You cannot equate for how big that loss was to the Jaguars.
It wasn't just a loss. They
got
shellacked.
To close the year like
at home.
That, to not get Irsay that extra playoff money.
Yeah, he was hot.
Which was coming. Like
you know, Irsay needs his cash, man. He's got a lot of hookers and pills. A lot of hookers and pills. The hookers and pills ain't cheap.
So yeah, he's still sipping. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was it can't be understated how big that L was trying to make the playoffs.
When it was so easy to get to. And those Jacksonville players literally had 1 foot in Cabo.
Yeah, man. It goes from like this guy can get it done to this guy doesn't have it. They get in the playoffs, and then it goes from like we started the year really slow and then pushed and made the playoffs to we didn't make the playoffs and started the year really slow. I don't know about this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how fickle that narrative can flip. So, yeah.
You're not shocked.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Kyler Murray. What's up with your boy, man?
Hey, you talk about all the time, man. When you start hearing things like this, it never goes well. So reports came out over the weekend, reports that were clearly put out there by the Arizona Cardinals and people within the team. So the story is a couple weeks ago after the season, after that loss to the Rams, Kyler Murray unfollowed all of the this. I guess I don't understand the whole unfollow thing. Maybe like this is where like we're old at this point in life? I don't know, because I don't get like the whole unfollow and delete all that, even though I'm not 70. I understand social media, but whatever. Anyway, scrubs his account clean of anything referencing the Arizona Cardinals, only leaves up a couple photos, one of him from Oklahoma. This prompts a whole bunch of speculation. On Sunday, a report comes out that the Cardinals aren't happy with Kyler Murray's work ethic. He's not a first one in, last one out type guy. Selfish, points finger. Apparently didn't want to go back in at the end of that game because the game was over, and that Colt McCoy had to tell him, like, no, bro, you need to go back in. And other teammates kind of had to come out. And then yesterday, a radio report came out that
in the playoffs way he was going to do that. He wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, they said he wasn't going to go back in for the end of that game. He was like, yeah, fuck this. For what?
Huh.
Yeah. And McCoy finished the game. McCoy, I think, took the last snap and took the kneel downs.
I didn't even realize that.
If I'm not mistaken, that is what happened. But I know for sure that he didn't want to come back in the game. And I'm pretty sure McCoy ended up finishing the game because they said that Kyler was hurt. And then yesterday, which some that came out that said wasn't true, that he calls his girlfriend at like this is when shit starts getting crazy. He calls at halftime of games. He puts on his headphones, or he's known to call his girlfriend during halftime. Which, if that's true, that's just nonsense, right? But like, anyways, these are clearly reports that are being put out by team members of the Cardinals. Why, I don't really understand, because public campaigns against your star player typically don't end well. And if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, you need Kyler Murray. You need to find a way to make it work. Mm-hmm. But it's clear that there's some issues over there, right? Like, and with Murray, he does kind of strike me as like a weird guy. Like, you hear him talk, he kind of just seems kind of a different dude a little bit. But,
yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like, I don't know anything about Kyler, but I know he's been the man for quite some time now.
For sure.
Like, since he was a youngster, he's been the guy. Baseball, football,
freak athlete,
pro baseball,
always
like,
been awesome in everything he's ever done.
Everything his whole life. So,
and I know that when he was coming out, there were questions about like, hey, this for that reason exactly. Like, hey, this guy's just always been so good his entire life. He's never really had to sit down and break down film and all that stuff. But it's the same thing they always try to put on the black quarterback. So I'm not, I always take that shit with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. It seems that they're in a little bit of a standoff. Murray released a statement yesterday saying all this nonsense is not what I'm about and la-da-da, and I'm just going to get better and all that. But seems to be a lot of noise, and I think we know where this is headed.
The only thing that worries me about it is there's from just the reports that are coming out, it's not really football related. He's not like, hey, they're not putting together the team that I want. Or I don't like the offense. It's kind of like they don't like each other type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with them. They don't fuck with me.
This dude. We don't get that vibe. We don't like the vibe that we get from him at all.
It's not like he's upset about the offensive line or I feel like I need more weapons or this, that, and the third. It's like, I don't really like these dudes and they don't really like me, so fuck them and I'm going to unfollow them. And
it almost seems like they know that something's coming down the pipeline and they're trying to get in front of it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, before Kyler demands a trade or holds out this offseason, we're going to tell you what's wrong with this dude. And we're going to try to swing the court of public opinion in our favor. Which is it's a cheap move. You know what I mean? It's not. They need to be in a room with Kyler Murray trying to figure out what the hell's wrong and working on that. But
that's what we always talk about that. I never understood that. Like, it seems like these guys don't talk to their star players. I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Like, why aren't you guys should be like locked at the hip.
Yeah. Like, Kingsbury should be at Murray's crib. Like, yo, what's the business?
Doing?
How we doing, man? What can we do better? We got to win.
Good?
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on? And obviously that depends on the player type of thing. But like, when you hear like of players, like I haven't talked to the front office. I can't get them to do this, that, and the third or whatever. Kind of like the Ben Simmons thing. Like, he wanted Doc to pull up on him. Like, if I'm pulling up.
So you think that Doc? So even though Doc was texting him and calling him, you think Doc should have showed up where he was at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I read that report. I was kind of like,
I'm gonna say this.
Doc's not gonna do that though.
I'm gonna say this. Doc is the coach. I'm more thinking of like these front office GM dudes where like
Elton Brand should have pulled up on him.
Yeah, pull up. Like,
what's up, Ben?
or if you know where you stand and it's dead, then okay. Like, then I'm trying to move you anyway. Let's figure
Ben's whole point was they know where I'm at every day. They could have pulled up on me and they didn't. That's specifically what he said.
I mean, and he's right.
I ain't hard to find. Pretty
He's
much.
right.
We all out in LA because they're all out in LA in the offseason. Like we're all out in LA.
But this,
you know what I mean? Like,
but this is the thing. Like, it's that classic, like where I think you fucked up, you think I fucked up, so I'm not going over there. You need to come talk to me.
Doc Rivers isn't showing up hand in hand like, hey, like right. Doc's got way too much pride for that.
And by the way, y'all took 19 mil from me.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. I'm not running y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna
down.
show up in Brooklyn in the Prada with the Prada crew neck and all my jewelry on.
Yes. And look very mentally well.
Yeah, he looked great. Yeah. He looked comfortable. Sitting on the bench, laughing with folks.
Yeah. So
don't clear everything up.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
Yeah. But back to this. So like, and again, you're big on this, right? You're big on when a guy doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to be there. If he tells you he doesn't want to be there, if the signs are pointing toward his not wanting to be there, we all know where it is. Yeah, when they tell you, believe them.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What do you think? Where are you seeing this situation?
I mean, I think it's very early.
Okay.
But
does this shit ever get better?
Well, this is you know what? I'm going to give you two examples of guys that have come out and recently that have come out and said something and ended up going back to their teams and it didn't really work out that well. Dame Lillard told you flat out, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want a new coach. I don't want to deal with like this whole rebuild. Yeah. And he's injured, but like
they're actually playing very well without him. By the way, they won 4 straight.
I'm gonna tell you this: Dame is injured with no timeline to return.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is always interesting. Just like when James Harden was hurt with a hamstring, but they don't know when he's coming back.
No timeline.
Called being held out.
It's one of those like, I don't want to play ball here anymore.
Yeah,
get me out of here.
Shit. Yeah.
Another example is Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, get me out of here, man. I don't want to be here. And then he ended up going back, but they didn't play very well.
Shit.
And he's on that I'm the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Welcome to the fraternity. You heard him on the Super Bowl.
You saw him with the Rollie?
Yeah. So like
you seen him with the Rollie and the gold cross? You seen him?
Yeah, he's trying not to make too much noise, but like that still didn't really work out. And they're trying to move him now. And then you know what I mean? So
Russell Wilson over last offseason made a trade request, but says he didn't make a trade request, but somehow leaked a list of teams that he'd be willing to go
exactly.
to. Which is the most Russell Wilson shit ever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to request a trade, but if I were to, here's the 4 teams I'd like to go to.
I got to try to protect this image, but please get me out of here.
Get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be in Seattle anymore. Seattle doesn't like it here.
And exactly. and like the Aaron Rodgers, like he told you flat out, Aaron Rodgers not going back to Green Bay, in my opinion. I've been saying that from the start.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
So, I don't know why he would go back. Like even from a like technical standpoint, they're over the cap. The cap is destroyed.
Cap is destroyed. Well, and I'm trying to figure out how they're so far over the cap because
I actually was looking into it too. And it's like insane far over the cap with not
they're
that
way
many
over the cap.
Caps. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, man, that's kind of the deal where it's like, does it get better? Eventually, no. If it gets to the point where you're leaking that you want to leave, it's probably to the point of no return.
Exactly. So
it's like when you and your shorty take a break. That means y'all that shit is over.
Yeah, you never come back from
that shit is done.
That. Yeah,
it's over with.
The writing's on the wall. That's what I'm saying. But he's also in the situation where after this year, they decide if they're going to sign him to one of these crazy ass deals, right? Like you got the Allen deal, the Mahomes deal, like these quarterback deals. You're talking $400 or $500 million now, and if you're Kyler Murray, you want that, right? And you're also going to be, you're going to be comparing yourself to the Lamar Jackson deal, like those type deals. So they got to make a decision with him on that. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting situation. But I think when it starts getting noisy like this, especially, it's never good for it to be noisy in the beginning of the offseason either. The thing about the Russell Wilson situation, that shit kind of happened in the middle of the offseason. So it's like, all right, we just got to get to camp. Like, yo, you got like 4 months. You got like 4 months now before you see each other, and you got to handle this situation, if not longer. So, we'll kind of see what happens with him, man. But it'll definitely be something to keep an eye on. And it definitely seems like they're trying to kill him in the media.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you this. They didn't look that good coming down the stretch, and Kyler Murray included. So it's not like he was lighting it up, and then he's like, yo, man, let me get out of here. So
he wasn't great in that game at all.
Yeah, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Shout out Cliff Kingsbury. All right, let's get.
Yo, apparently we got to move back out to the Valley, man, out to Phoenix. You seen Devin Booker crib?
Yeah, man.
Devin Booker crib.
Valley boys. Dog,
Interior decorator, A1.
Yeah,
whoever
killed
Devin
it.
Booker decorator
Shout out
is.
D. I love D Book.
Yeah, his whole situation.
His whole
I've never flipped
aura.
on a guy more than anything. Like I've just flipped completely on Devin Booker.
Yeah, bro. That's
seeing
my
his
guy.
house was the icing on the cake. Crib design is stupid.
Crib demeanor game,
yeah, whole game, old school cars.
His whole demeanor is fire.
The card table with the bar behind it. I was like, yo, that I would live there.
Yep, I fuck with D Book.
Fuck with Book for sure.
Speaking of that, let's move over to the NBA. The Suns are still the best team in the league, and I still can't figure out why they're plus almost $2 bills.
Yeah, I don't know what
more than $2 bills to win the West. The Warriors are spooky. I get that. Klay Thompson has shown flashes the last couple games that he's back. Legs are back. So what's the most thing you're looking forward to in this second half? Is it seeing James in Philly, Ben? When can we get a game? When do we get a game?
For James?
Yeah. What are we waiting on?
Says he comes back after the All-Star break. James needs his R&R, man. Hey, I know they showed him fly to Philly, and I think that was just for the photo op. He hopped right back on that plane and went to Vegas.
Yeah, he's just like
he's getting his head right.
I don't. Yeah, I'm
it is kind of crazy.
Just like he just like does whatever he wants.
Whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, like
remember when he was leaving Houston? Like there was reports. It's like it's nothing for James to just go on Vegas in between road trips. Like if we're playing on the West Coast, James will charter a flight to Vegas for the night and come back and do his whole thing. Like it is what it is. Some guys just got to blow up. We saw it with Rodman.
Just got to
blow off steam, man.
So yeah, man, I don't understand, bro. Like, I guess maybe it is a little bit of a hammy, but maybe he's like, yeah, I'll come out after the break and reset. But
yeah, no, what I'm looking for is everything in the East, man. I think when you look at the East, really 1 through 9, right? At the cutoff for me is Atlanta. I know they were playing a little bit better last week, but have kind of lost their last couple. Yeah. But all the way up, Miami, Chicago, Cleveland, Philly, Milwaukee, Boston, Toronto, Brooklyn, Charlotte. There's so much intrigue there. Now you add in the Ben Simmons to Brooklyn. You add in Harden to the Nets. Hopefully the Bulls get healthy. Miami's rolling like we we're both Miami Heat advocates. We've been telling you, right? Like they're dogs. I think that they're going to end up winning these. Cleveland, young team that we like. Milwaukee is still the champs, and nobody wants to talk about them. I know they got whooped last night, but Giannis wasn't there. Boston has won 8 straight out of nowhere. We thought this team was dead.
They're playing better.
Defense playing a lot better. Toronto, look, man, not a ton of talent, but again, you don't want to see those boys for 7 games. You don't want a game plan against Nick Nurse for 7 games. That's not fun. Charlotte doesn't stop anybody, but a fun offensive team, man.
But they hard to stop too.
They're hard to stop, man. Any night Charlotte could give you $130. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of fun out there on the East. I think the West is sewed up, man. It's a 2-man race, and I really think Phoenix is a lot further than people want to give them credit for. Like the Phoenix Suns are the best.
I don't know what else they got to do,
top to bottom. To be honest, they have 10 guys that can play. Like their bench is crazy. You know what I mean? Their starting 5 is crazy. Their bench is crazy. Book's playing at an MVP level. CP3 is the maestro. Aiden is Aiden. And look, man, laugh all you want. Ben told you, McGee, Biyombo. What did they need last year in the playoffs? Big men depth. 10 to 15 minutes. I saw JaVale McGee in person finally the other day when I saw Bulls Phoenix. Dog, elite floor runner. Like as soon as there's a rebound, JaVale McGee turns and he is sprinting to the end of the floor. And Chris Paul, Devin Booker, those are guys that will reward that. You know what I mean? Their system rewards that. So they just play a really good brand of basketball. And I think picking up Torrey Craig was a nice little move for them. Another wing defender who played for them last year and gave them good minutes. That's what they needed. Another guy on the wing, another wing defender, man. We got to stop some of these big guys. We got to put somebody on Clay, on Dre, whatever it is. So that's what I'm looking for, man. What's going to happen out East? I think Miami finishes with the best record, but I cannot tell you what happens once the playoffs start. If they lift the backs mandate in New York, is Kyrie going to be playing? Who knows?
They're on their way that way. I know that they just lifted the mask thing because I was out there. People were talking about that. Yep. So they're on their way that way, and that would be a big W for Kyrie because he's back in business.
Yeah, 100%.
Talk to me nice.
And that could look real nice with Kyrie, Ben, and I mean the fast breaks are going to be silly. So we'll see once KD gets back. But man, there's so much going on in the East. So much going on in the East.
No doubt. So All right, let's talk. Let's get out of here on this Hooper ball player. So we don't go too deep on like an hour and a half. I'll try to keep it to like an hour 15. But yeah, let's go. Let's kick off the Hooper ball player. If y'all listen to us, you know that there's different types of NBA players, and then your role players are also different types of NBA players.
You got your grinders. You got your defenders.
Monk is a hooper. I don't know if he was on Nick's list.
No, he wasn't. But I think we should set this up
with an example.
And this is something that we talk about in the group chat all the time, right? Like, it's easy to talk about the all-stars. It's easy to talk about LeBron. It's easy to talk about KD and what they bring to the table. But the NBA is full of the middle class, the other guys. The NBA's middle class is very strong. And within that middle class, there's hoopers and ball players, right? It's something we always talk about. Is that guy a hooper or is he a ball player? Yeah. And Sean, I know this is something that you kind of started, man. So what I want to do is just so the people have a clear idea of what a hooper is and what a ball player is. I got a list of players.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them to you, and you're going to tell me if that guy is a hooper or a ball player.
Sure.
Only rule is no perennial all-stars, no young up-and-comer guys who are going to be perennial all-stars, anything like that. This is just your guys who are in the league, out there getting buckets, out there doing things, making a difference, but not quite all-star level. It's just like, that dude's, but he's a hooper, or no, he's a ball player.
Yeah.
So let's start off, man. We're gonna, I'm gonna set up with some Bulls types guys. You know, it's obviously a Chicago podcast.
Sure.
We'll throw it off with a couple legends, man. My first guy, Kirk Hinrich. Is Kirk Hinrich a hooper or a ball player?
Clear ball player.
Kirk Hinrich's clearly a ball player.
Clearly a ball player. Listen, the hooper, the ball player to me means your course of your life and career, you put tons and tons of time in the gym, getting fundamentally sound and doing all that type of shit. Kirk Hinrich is an absolute ball player, pure point blank. He's like the pinnacle of ball player.
Pinnacle of ball player. Love it.
Like that type of dude.
Love it. All right, so I'm gonna give you the opposite because I think you're gonna go hooper on this one. Let's just set up for the people as far as where we're going.
Yeah.
Another former Bull. Our boy, we saw him catch fire. We saw him catch fire at the UC versus the Celtics one game. Ben Gordon.
Absolute pure hooper. Any way you want it. You don't have to draw up. You know another way you can kind of judge if they're a hooper or a ball player? Can this guy get his own shot? Can this guy make some shit happen on the fly? Like ball players usually aren't. They're more of like a system, more rigid guys.
Yeah.
These hoopers, give them the ball, let them they go get you a basket and just do hooper type shit. Finish at the rim crazy. That's like Ben Gordon, hooper. Put him in any park in America, he's getting buckets. Hooper. 35 footers, the whole shit.
We'll throw it on the current Bulls. Ayo. Is Ayo a hooper or is Ayo a ball player?
Man.
I just added him this morning.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think let me give you another example. You know what the perfect mix of a hooper and ball player is DeMar DeRozan.
Well, he's a perennial all-star, but
But that's the perfect balance of both, right? So
Ayo to me, I'll say Ayo to me is a ball player.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like he's showing up at the gym and dropping 50 like that, but he's just going to play a real solid game of basketball.
Real solid game of basketball.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Your boy, Norm Powell.
Ooh. See, Norm Powell, his game, is a ball player.
All right.
Norm Powell's a ball player.
Powell ever.
Norm Powell's a ball player because
if y'all don't know, Sean absolutely loves Norman Powell.
Love Norman Powell. Absolute bucket getter. He
always getting buckets.
He's a very sound offensive hooper. He's not doing anything crazy, but he will give you 25 if you give him enough space. So yeah, Norman Powell's a ball player.
All right, I got one. Born ready, Lance Stevenson.
I mean, his middle name is Hooper. That's a hooper. If you're looking at a hooper, Lance Stevenson, born ready, is a hooper.
Born ready's middle name is Hooper.
Pass me the shoes. Also, the other thing about a hooper is he could give you 40, and then the next night, his off the cuff shit's not really working, and he's 2 for 19. So yeah, Lance Stevenson is a hooper. No question.
All right. Our boy, the president, Malcolm Brogdon.
Ball player.
Okay.
Four-year college guy, fundamentally sound, not really athletic, but gets where he wants to be, makes the right decisions, is very smart. Malcolm Brogdon, ball player.
Which means the next one's a layup ball player, Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson is a ball player.
Elite.
Guy, fundamentally sound, very smart, knows the game, dissects the game, processes the game very well. If you put him on the floor with a bunch of athletic dudes, he's going to look to dish because he knows that that's how he can affect the game. He'll do whatever you need to, but he conforms to the game. Hoopers don't conform to the game. That's also another thing.
Yo, I love that. Hoopers don't conform. The game conforms to them.
They just come out and do whatever they want. Jordan Clarkson, Hooper.
Oh my God.
He doesn't conform.
Jordan Clarkson is the definite red light.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I break it down. Like they don't. Hoopers don't conform to the game. Ball players will do what needs to be done.
So I'll give a one-time All-Star. It was a long time ago, but very impactful player. Our guy, J. Rue Holiday.
J. Rue Holiday is a ball player.
Okay.
Yeah, he because when you think of J. Rue Holiday is a ball player. J. Rue Holiday is a ball player.
J. Rue will hoop on you.
He will hoop on your ass.
His game is kind of eased in very much into ball player status. Like I'm gonna control things. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get in your grill on D. I love it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna throw out some sure hoopers to you. Terrence Ross.
Oh yeah, Hooper.
All right.
Runs up and down, shooting jump shots, and he's in Hooper land. He's never on a good team. He's always like on a middle, like lower tier squad.
Can give you 50.
Yeah, and he just goes out and just hoop, just shoot jumpers, go up and down, talk shit. Terrence Ross is a Hooper.
Love it. When I think Hooper, this guy comes up to mind for me. Our boy, Scary Terry Rozier.
Hooper.
Fear Hooper. No conforming.
Hooper. No conforming. I'm gonna go out and play how I want. And that whole team's got a lot of Hoopers on it.
There's a lot of Hoopers over
That's
there.
A Hooper squad.
It's a Hooper's paradise.
Hooper's paradise.
Is there a ball player on that roster? Is Gordon Hayward a ball player?
Gordon Hayward's a ball player.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Gordon Hayward's a ball player. Yeah. 100%.
Dylan Brooks.
Hooper.
Love it. All right.
Ja Morant, Hooper.
Ja Morant's an elite though.
Everything. Yeah.
All right. Clear ball player. This, if you don't know what a ball player is, if you're still confused, I'm going to give you a guy that's going to be a slam dunk. And I know this is one of Sean's favorites. Slam dunk ball player. TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell is a slam dunk basketball player.
Yeah, just marinating in ball player.
Figuring out how to, like, this guy's in the NBA, but if you watch him, he's a ball player. Right. He gets done whatever needs to be done. He focuses on what he's good at. He doesn't try to do too much. He's never out of pocket. TJ McConnell, shout out TJ McConnell. Led the league in steals, 2 years ago, I think?
Yeah, he's nice.
And plays really hard, knows the game. Yeah, man, ball player.
Got a couple more. Caruso.
It's hard. Caruso.
He kind of goes both ways a little
Caruso
bit, right?
kind of has a little bit of both in him because he has some free-flowing, fluid, just like Hooper mentality too.
He's not conforming. Yeah, he's not like a peer anything on offense.
Yeah, but he also does what needs to be done. If I had to put him in anything, I would say he's a Hooper.
Like it.
Yeah, if I had to put him in one, but it's pretty close.
So
he's not a clear-cut Hooper.
All right, so we gotta put that one to the people. Alex Caruso.
Hooper
a ball player because he's on the fence right now. And the last one I know you got to go Hooper, but he just got traded. Shout out him, Karis LeVert.
Oh, Karis LeVert's a Hooper.
Hooper.
And I think most of the time I've seen him in the NBA, he's been in very Hooper situations. For sure. Here you go out. Here are your minutes. Yep. Here's the ball and
fill it up.
Fill it up and
high usage.
High usage when you're on the floor. Yeah, Karis LeVert's a Hooper. I've always liked Karis LeVert.
I like Karis LeVert a lot. That's a solid pickup.
Absolutely. If he could stay healthy, I know he had some health complications, but
for sure. As someone who's an avid watcher of the Cleveland Cavaliers, I can tell you that Karis LeVert is 100% what they need. After they lost my man, the young bull, shout out the young bull, Colin Sexton. Yeah. They lost those random buckets, And I think Karis LeVert brings that to you. But
I'm excited to see Garland in the All-Star game.
Garland is nice, man. I'm happy he's in the All-Star game. He's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Shout out Eder. Eder has been on Garland since day one.
Yeah, he has.
Been on Garland. Loves Garland.
I'm excited to see him in the Super Bowl.
So it's time for you to flip to NBA. Are you ready, man?
I'm ready. I'm fully loaded NBA now.
Sean needs to be locked in NBA all week. Yeah.
I'm fully locked in on NBA now. I'm very excited about it as well. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lock in and get the league pass for the rest of the year too.
I've been the discount now.
Dog, I've been rocking this like illegal stream shit. I can't take it.
Now you need the league pass. It's just right there for you.
Just let me just pay, bro.
Hey, who's leading the MVP right now? Is it Embiid? For FanDuel? I'm just mean for for whoever for
I don't have my phone with me, but I think I'll say for my personal opinion, I think he's bringing a lot of momentum from last year as well.
Yeah,
yeah, I think he's been playing his ass off.
Plus 125, so he's heavy.
Wow.
Jokic is second. I didn't see that.
Been going crazy.
Has he been hooping? Because I just don't pay attention to Denver with all the injuries.
I think Jokic has
you see him trying
9 triple doubles or something.
You see him trying to tow Michael Porter Jr.'s car. Did you see that video?
He's posted up on the thing like, man, we supposed to.
He goes,
black. Man, we black. No, we supposed to help each other.
Which is funny because I remember when all the police shit was going on, Michael Porter Jr. was on some I don't see color.
Yeah, interesting, Mike.
We black now.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like, your car getting towed. You black now.
Black.
Now you black. Okay. Word. That's what's up.
All right. We see. Loud and clear. Hey, 10-4.
10-4.
No, but it goes. You got Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Ja, DeMar. This is as of the 15th. I don't understand how in the last 5 days DeMar has to jump.
He has been going ballistic.
He's been going crazy.
Yeah.
It's like 37 a game on like 60% shooting, though. Is the crazy shit. Yeah. He's punching on folks. He's 20 in the fourth last night. He's going crazy.
He's going crazy.
He is on a tear.
Yeah.
Remember when Bron said he wanted Russ over? That might be Bron's biggest mistake ever, taking Russ over DeMar.
Yeah. It could be.
DeMar would look so nice on that squad. Shout out Anthony Davis averaging 4 points a game in the fourth quarter. Hey, if I'm Ben Simmons, I'm posting the Anthony Davis fourth quarter numbers and saying y'all need to keep that same energy that you have with me with this motherfucker.
Yeah, Ant has I
think I might be out on Anthony Davis.
Well, we know I've been saying this for a while that he's just a big ass guard. Right. So when he's shooting 11%
from three.
The jumper's not falling, which it hasn't been.
11% from three.
He doesn't really want to go down and he don't want to Embiid people.
You don't want to Embiid anybody.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So
you got to Embiid folks out there, man. And then another thing, man, he's got like 9.8 rebounds. I hate big dudes that can't give me 10 boards. Usually 8 is my standard, but he should be getting 10 boards just off showing up every day. Yeah. A lot of that shit's about desire. You see Joel out here grabbing 16 rebounds and shit. Yeah.
Desire. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You don't got that dog. That's why I love Joe, man. Joe's just give me the ball. I'm going to fucking get it.
Have you seen that meme of the guy on the bus, the sad face and then the happy face, and one's looking out the window, looking out at the brick or at the mountain? I saw one the other day of NBA analytical nerd, he was sad and looking outside the window, and then the guy that was happy was looking out the window said, but he got that dog in him. He was smiling and happy.
I fully believe in that shit.
Yeah, man.
You gotta have that dog.
Gotta have that dog.
Gotta have that doggy.
All right, man.
Shout out PJ Tucker.
Shout out PJ. Doing this thing. Shout out to
Boss. I saw Boss Man 99 live the other day too. Shout out Boss Man 99.
Boss Man 99.
A favorite of the program.
Favorite of the program.
Definitely favorite of the program.
We've had an up and down relationship with Boss Man 99.
We need to get Boss Man on. I need to apologize, man. I told him he was a mythical 3-and-D guy, and since then he's become a real 3-and-D guy. So shout out Jay Crowder, man. Get those checks too, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna leave it there, man. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. You know the deal. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We'll see y'all next week.
Man, look at Mossy.